Approaching the drop zone.
Locked and loaded.
Sony PlayStation 5 is coming, and thanks to an official reveal of the system by PS5 lead system architect Mark Cerny, we now know it's going to be a pixel-pushing powerhouse of a gaming console. A system that will simply excel in delivering eye-popping and immersive games for next-generation PlayStation users to enjoy. And, while Sony has now confirmed the PS5 release date is holiday 2020, we can't wait to get our hands on the PlayStation 5 and load up those eagerly awaiting titles. Here we will be presenting what we consider the best PS5 games that either have been officially confirmed, or heavily rumored to feature on Sony's next-gen system. The PS5 is already looking like it could have one of the best first-year game lineups ever. Hot new titles in massive series like Call of Duty, GTA, and The Elder Scrolls are already being lined up to land on the PlayStation 5, and Sony has some absolutely killer exclusives in the works, too, such as Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon Zero Dawn 2, and God of War 2, all rumored to be getting released in the PS5 first year. Call of Duty, Black Ops 5. The Cold War shooter is locked and loaded for a fall 2020 deployment. The worst kept secret in the gaming industry right now is that the PS5 is coming out next year in 2020, along with the next Xbox, and one of the titles that, according to respected gaming news site Kotaku, is due to get a cross-platform release on it is Call of Duty, Black Ops 5. According to the recent Kotaku report, which also confirmed that the title was set during the Cold War time period and was being headed up by Californian-based game maker Treyarch, it will likely be a cross-gen game, to coincide with the launch of the next PlayStation expected in the fall of 2020. A fall release date for Black Ops 5 makes perfect sense as well if it is indeed a cross-gen game, as that way it could both be ready for the PS5 launch, as well as be available during the crucial sales period during the winter holiday season on PS4 too. No details of just how the Black Ops 5 will be improved on PS5 have yet to be released, however we're guessing the PlayStation 5 powerful new hardware will allow higher resolutions and frame rates to be achieved, as well as much faster loading thanks to the system's rapid SSD. The Black Ops 5 will be improved on PS5 have yet to be released, however we're guessing the PlayStation 5 powerful new hardware will allow higher resolutions and frame rates to be achieved, as well as much faster loading thanks to the system's rapid SSD. Horizon Zero Dawn 2. The incredible PlayStation exclusive that would be a perfect PS5 launch title. One of the reasons why the PlayStation 4 ended up absolutely smoking the Xbox One in terms of sales was because of its pure focus on games, and Sony's list of top exclusives, such as God of War, Gravity Rush 2, and Horizon Zero Dawn are specifically turning gamers' heads. Now while we would certainly love to see a new God of War or Gravity Rush on PS5, we think one of the coolest and most plausible PlayStation 5 games we could see during the new console's launch window is Horizon Zero Dawn 2. The original game delivered an amazing far-future game world to explore where gigantic robotic machines ruled the Earth, and with addictive open-world Tomb Raider-style action RPG gameplay, it soon won gamers over despite its flaws, which included a rather barren game world, questionable voice acting and long loading times. A PS5 sequel, though, with the console's next-gen AMD Navi GPU and 8-core Zen 2 CPU power on tap, would allow Horizon's maker, Guerrilla Games, to really flesh out the game world and present it in even greater fidelity. Equally, with the game running off the super-fast SSD, those long load times of the original would be a thing of the past. On PlayStation 5 Horizon Zero Dawn 2 would look simply incredible. Cyberpunk 2077, the dystopian cyberpunk RPG that literally everyone is waiting for. The hotly anticipated new title from CD Projekt, the fine fellows behind the stunning The Witcher series. Cyberpunk 2077 is an upcoming RPG set in a futuristic dystopian California. The game offers an open world and allows the player to choose from 8 different operatives that serve society in Night City. According to decisions the player makes, various alternate endings are possible. On top of the simply awesome 48-minute gameplay trailer that dropped in August last year, there was also a new trailer at E3 2019 for the much-wanted title, which is due for release on April 16, 2020 on Xbox One, PS4 and PC. No mention has yet been made of a PS5 version of the game, however, with the PS5 set to be released next year, it doesn't take a lot of reasoning at all to conclude a PlayStation 5 edition is highly likely, offering greater graphical effects, frame rates, and resolutions than on the current gen game versions. Indeed, a PS5 version of the game would really make the most of Cyberpunk's powerful RED Engine 4, as well as the super cool Blade Runner style art design. The PS5's officially confirmed Radeon Navi GPU, Ryzen 7nm Zen 2 CPU, and super-fast SSD should be perfect for making Cyberpunk look and run great.
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
Ghost of Tsushima. The samurai epic would look stunning on PlayStation 5. Since Ghost of Tsushima's gameplay was shown off in an amazing trailer at E3 last year, we've literally been praying to the gaming gods that it gets a PS5 launch. Chances are that the samurai epic, which sees the player take control of Samurai Jin Sakai during the 1274 CE Mongol invasion of Japan, will launch first on PS4, as it was first announced way back in 2017. However, since the trailer launched last year, developer SuckerPunch has gone very, very quiet, fueling rumors that the game is being prepared for a dual PS4 and PS5 release. Judging by the stunning art style and cinematic presentation, the PS5 really would be the ideal console to do a gorgeous game like this justice. The authentic-looking characters, environments and weapons would be given a greater level of immersion if they could be run with PS5 level resolutions, 4K to 8K with HDR, frame rates, 60 FPS+, and special effects. The PS5 3D audio chip would also really help make the most of the game's incredible musical, played with period Japanese instruments, and audio, with the gaming experience taken to new levels of immersion. God of War 2. The God of War 2. The perfect PS5 mega exclusive to wage war on the next Xbox. God of War 2 is coming. Yes, nothing official has been announced, however thanks to a whole host of job listings appearing on developer Sony Santa Monica's careers website, it's one of the worst kept secrets in the industry right now. And on PS5 God of War 2 would no doubt look brilliant and play fantastically well. With 120Hz, 60 FPS, 4K gaming possible or 8K, Kratos and a now grown-up Atreus would be able to wage war like never seen before. And the new technology would also allow Santa Monica to really expand how they tell the new story. Whether or not God of War 2 will be a cross-platform release, remains to be seen, but there's no doubt a new game could launch on the current gen, and as the original game looked so good, especially running on PS4 Pro, we're sure it would be great to play. However, the fact that God of War director Cory Barlog confirmed that DLC plans for the original game were dropped for being too ambitious, indicates that the next game will be an order of magnitude jump forward, and not just a more of the same sequel. As to what you can expect from God of War 2, a recent discovery by God of War fans in an anniversary dynamic theme for the series seems to indicate that the setting will be Ragnarok, the Nordic apocalypse. Final Fantasy VII Remake. One of the best JRPG ever, remade to run on PlayStation 5. Ever since Square Enix president and CEO, Yosuke Matsuda, said Final Fantasy XII Remake will support both the next generation and the current generation of consoles, fans of quality JRPG and next generation got serious hype. Designed as cross-generation title, Remake will feature on both PS4, PS4 Pro, as well as the next-gen PlayStation 5, with the first part of the game, it is being released in parts, currently slated to drop on March 2020. That date, if it holds, will be for the current generation release of the game. So while the PS5 version of Remake will likely arrive later in 2020, most likely during the winter holiday period to coincide with the PlayStation 5's launch, it will be able to tap into the extra power and features delivered by the new console. And it won't have escaped gamers' attention that the new Final Fantasy VII runs on the Unreal Engine 4, which supports the new graphical real-time ray tracing. Other benefits the PS5 version could deliver include 120Hz gameplay, and resolutions in advance of 4K. The Elder Scrolls 6, a successor to Skyrim running at 4K HDR and 60 FPS+? Hell yes. The fourth game in the series, The Elder Scrolls IV: Oblivion, was released in 2006 and then the fifth game in the series, The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim was released 5 years later in 2011. Considering a new Elder Scrolls game with the series' wide open worlds and spectacular draw distances, there would be no better system to run it than a PS5. Unfortunately, we're still largely in the dark as to when The Elder Scrolls 6 will launch, or even where it will be set. In June last year Bethesda Softworks put out a very brief teaser trailer, but that only showed a sweeping coastal landscape with a castle. With the AMD Ryzen CPU tech and Navi GPU tech, we have high hopes the PlayStation 5 version of the game should also facilitate Bethesda finally shifting the series off the dated Creation engine. Just imagine a PS5 console running The Elder Scrolls 6 with a brand new, visually stunning game engine at 4K resolution and with HDR enabled and a 60 FPS plus resolution. We know, it is the stuff of RPG dreams. Death Stranding. A PS5 and PS4 two-platform release seems now very likely. From the trailers we've seen so far, Kojima's new title looks very impressive graphically, and as he has always done in his games, the style and tone feel incredibly cinematic. The PS5 ability to support 8K HDR graphics would make it perfect for displaying the game's engine, which allows for stunningly realistic characters to be rendered. Death Stranding is out on November 8 and will kickstart a stunning period of exclusive releases over the coming months in the run-up to the PS5 launch. Death Stranding could be making the jump to PlayStation 5, according to a new report. Wired state that PS5 and PS4 lead system architect Mark Cerny implied the upcoming PlayStation 4 game might instead release on both that console and the next-generation PlayStation. The much-anticipated game is the next project from Metal Gear creator Hideo Kojima. It's an open-world action title that includes an optional online multiplayer component. Revealed at E3 2016, Death Stranding has become a game of much interest to fans of both PlayStation and Kojima himself. The game sees you play as Sam Bridges, an employee for a mysterious organization who embarks on a journey to reunite a shattered world filled with dangerous invisible enemies of unknown origin. His profession seems to be that of a delivery man of sorts, but the nature of the parcels he delivers. Spider-Man 2. The famous web slinger would be right at home on PS5. The PlayStation-exclusive Spider-Man was one of 2018's best games, with more than 9 million gamers picking up a copy so they could don the Spidey suit and swing through the Big Apple. A sequel launching, say, at the end of the PS5 first year on sale, or during its second, seems very plausible, and the new console would allow Insomniac to really broaden their horizons in terms of design and execution. The largely non-interactable world of the first game could be given a real jolt, with the power of the PS5 allowing more NPCs, environmental details and, crucially, the ability to visit both indoor and outdoor locals without loading screens. The fact that Mark Cerny himself has confirmed that the new SSD in the PlayStation 5 allows the original Spider-Man to load 18 times faster than on PS4 also indicates that the sequel would load initially much faster too, while the fact that more in-game assets could be addressed and then loaded much quicker means that Spider-Man himself should be able to move through it quicker and at a smoother frame rate as well.
Tell me he has backpacks filled with who knows what hidden throughout the city. Unauthorized research stations. Get a permit like the rest of us, loser! Ever since he came onto the scene, prancing around like an 80s action hero.
The Lord of the Rings, GOLLUM. Journey Back to Middle-earth on PS5. As broke originally by The Hollywood Reporter, The Lord of the Rings, GOLLUM is a new game currently in the works by German developer Daedalic Entertainment that is slated for release on PC and all relevant console platforms at that time. And that's a great thing, as the PS5's graphical power would be a perfect partner for bringing both the infamous protagonist and the world around him to life. Imagine the awesome lighting effects that could be achieved in caves and forests with the PlayStation 5 ray tracing GPU. It would lead to some incredibly immersive gaming. As to the story, Daedalic's CEO and co-founder Karsten Fichtelman has revealed that we have a story that we all know from the book, but everything that happens to him before he appears in the book are the main things we will see in our game. We will tell the story before he first appears in the books. Sniper.
The corruption will be contained no longer.
Sniper Elite 5. Ultra High Definition, 120Hz headshots incoming. The developer of the Sniper Elite series, Rebellion, has confirmed that it is hard at work on Sniper Elite 5, with a development update earlier in the year stating that the next major title in the Sniper Elite series, following in the footsteps of the widely acclaimed Sniper Elite 4, is now in development. And, while no platforms have yet been mentioned for the fifth installment, Rebellion has confirmed that more details on the next major title in the Sniper Elite series will be unveiled in 2020. A new Sniper Elite title on PS5 would be truly epic, with the console's insane power allowing for never-before-seen bullet physics, incredibly large in-game worlds as well as super immersive sound effects thanks to the PS5 3D audio unit. Interestingly, Rebellion has also revealed that it is working on a new standalone Sniper Elite game for VR devices too. So we could very well see a PS5 and PSVR titles launched toward the end of next year, or in 2021. Dying Light 2.
Before it's too late.
Dying Light 2. First-person survival horror like you've never experienced before. In a post-E3 2019 interview with Dying Light developer Techland, the game maker confirmed that the plan since the beginning of production has been to make Dying Light 2 a cross-generation title. And, considering that the title is already confirmed for PC, Xbox One and PS4, that seems to pretty much confirm that we can expect to see a PS5 version of the game. And especially considering the title is due to be launched next year. And a PS5 version of the game would be ideal, as a huge part of the Dying Light experience is about fast-paced and graphically impressive first-person movement and combat with parkour a key feature. As such, if the game can call upon the PS5 powerful new GPU for fancy visual effects like ray tracing, and also its 7nm CPU and SSD storage to process the in-game virtual worlds with zero lag, then moving and fighting through them should be an incredibly immersive, eye-popping experience. Which, combined with the game delivering maximum player choice whenever possible, it is easy to get very excited about Dying Light 2.
Every day the disease tries to crush us and make us forget who we are, but I keep fighting. My name is Aiden, and I am infected.
GTA 6, a new Grand Theft Auto on PS5 is a mouth-watering proposition. It's been 6 years since GTA 5 hit game consoles and, after Rockstar Games released the incredible Red Dead Redemption 2 at the end of last year, industry speculation has shifted to focus on when a sequel to the open-world crime sandbox will arrive. Considering that the PS5 will release in 2020, we'd be incredibly surprised if the game launched on the outgoing current console generation. That's because if there is one genre that is going to benefit most from the PlayStation 5 powerful next-gen hardware, it is open-world games. By being able to tap into the PS5 Ryzen and Navi technology, the world of GTA 6 will be able to be rendered at higher resolutions and with greater draw distances, while thanks to the console's rapid solid-state drive, loading times will be slashed. As shown in the official PS5 soft reveal, the system's SSD should also allow the open world of GTA 6 to be continuously loaded during play much faster too, allowing the player to move through it quicker without texture or geometry pop-in issues. Could this lead to the next GTA to be set not just over an extended city area, but actually over an entire area, with multiple cities, towns and natural environments? Here's hoping that GTA 6 launches on the PS5, either at launch or during the Assassin's Creed Kingdom, already confirmed to be all about Vikings, the next Assassin's Creed will pillage perfectly on PS5. As confirmed by gaming site Kotaku, the next Assassin's Creed is all about Vikings. And, with its maker Ubisoft confirming that the series is skipping 2019 and will actually release next year in 2020, the new installment of the long-running series is destined for PlayStation 5. It was the virtual poster that gave the game away to many, with the advertisement showing a Viking warrior holding none other than an Apple of Eden, the magical MacGuffin that powers the narrative of basically every Assassin's Creed game to date. Kotaku's reporter then ratified the find, confirming that he had been tipped off by two independent sources familiar with the game that the next Assassin's Creed is codenamed Kingdom and is all about Vikings. And, simply put, that new Viking Age game will look and run fantastically on PS5. The last game, Odyssey, already looks spectacular running in dynamic 4K on the PS4 Pro, so with the power of the PlayStation 5 hardware, gamers should be in for a real treat. Larger worlds, faster loading, locked 4K or 4K plus resolutions, higher frame and refresh rates, and immersive new ray tracing lighting effects will combine spectacularly. Uncharted 5. Time for Cassie to pick up Nathan's love of treasure and adventure. Uncharted 4, A Thief's End was fantastic, a fitting end to a series that had taken on gamers on epic journeys through the PS3 and PS4 generations. Crucially though, while the game definitely had a fulfilling ending, it definitely did not feel final and, as Uncharted, The Lost Legacy went on to show a year later, there is still plenty of scope in the world of Uncharted yet. Its developer, Naughty Dog, are currently hard at work on The Last of Us Part 2, which is due to have a release on PS4 in February 2020. However, with the last full-fat Uncharted game now 3 years old, and with the 18 shortly to move off The Last of Us Part 2, it sure feels like a new Uncharted game could already be in the works for release in 2021 or 2022. Uncharted 4, for example, took 5 years to complete, and that would mean if the same development time stands, that we could see the new game launching on PlayStation 5 in a couple of years' time. Unlike many of the PS5 games in this list, nothing is confirmed so far, and actually Nathan Drake's voice actor, Nolan North, said in April 2019 that a lot of people want the fifth Uncharted, but that ship has kinda sailed, indicating that he doesn't think anything is happening. That said though, we would be very surprised if Nathan
One
Drake was the
last
lead
time.
in a new Uncharted game. Lost Legacy showed that alternative lead characters not only worked in the Uncharted universe but actually added a little something more. Having a new Uncharted game also makes sense in terms of Sony protecting its current console war lead over Microsoft and its incoming Xbox Scarlet. It's an exclusive that Xbox would kill to have, so to not utilize that on a flagship new console seems wasteful to say the least. League of Legends, Wild Rift. The world's biggest MOBA comes to consoles at long last. 10 years and over 100 million active players later, one of the world's biggest esports draws finally lands on consoles. League of Legends, Wild Rift has been built from the ground up for unspecified consoles and mobile, but we imagine all the big players, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo and newcomer Google Stadia, will get access thanks to an industry-wide renewed focus on streaming games. The complex controls have been streamlined access thanks to an industry-wide renewed focus on streaming games. The complex controls have been streamlined to better fit the format, while less turrets and smaller maps make for shorter games ideal for mobile or old-fashioned multiplayer, as in, when you're all sat in a room together. Remember that? Good times. Expect more info on Wild Rift as the 2020 launch date firms up.
That is entirely
Dragon Age 4. The Blight is back in BioWare's Sword and Sorcery epic. Since its Knights of the Old Republic days, BioWare has been no stranger to big RPGs with multiple endings, and the Dragon Age series is an archetypal example. With bloody, satisfying combat and a ton of custom character options, 2014's Dragon Age Inquisition was a blockbuster hit, and the in-development Dragon Age 4 would be likely to match it on next gen. BioWare are taking their time with the next installment, as Chief Financial Officer Blake Jorgensen said the game probably comes after. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to PS5 Actual to see more videos like this one.